Hello, hi. Welcome back to our Kubernetes series. Today, we will be discussing on Kubernetes cluster setup. There are primarily what we can say three major ways or setup options for Kubernetes cluster. We'll be discussing about that and in each and every detailed and the commands need to run everything, the theoretical part, everything we'll be discussing in this particular video, and also a clear comparison with respect to certain criterias for Minikube, Kubeadm, and Managed Kubernetes. And also, I will be deciding or giving a options to you when to choose what and a quick reason out of this particular discussion. Now, without further, let's have a discussion around this particular thing. So, first thing was these are the three options. One was Minikube, which is you can set up on your local laptop, and Kubeadm, which is you can set up on your on-premise servers, and the third one was Managed Kubernetes, which is a cloud managed service which you can use for production grade deployments. Now let's talk more about what exactly is a Kubernetes cluster. Okay, as I already covered in the previous videos, but anyhow, I was just giving a quick walkthrough about what is a cluster. Cluster is basically a group of missions, that means nodes, that works together as a one unified system running a Kubernetes. That includes a control plane, which is acts like a brain of the brain, where it is used to make your decisions about scheduling, scaling, self-healing, everything. And underlying workers are like a muscles, where it runs your containerized applications within the pods. And then there is a containerized applications where automatically manages the deployment, scaling, and recovery. Okay, so you can think of it like as a non-technical example. If you wanted to say a well-organized company, and here the control plane is the management, and worker node is the team doing the work, basically the staff. Okay, and here is the architecture diagram of a Kubernetes cluster. We do have a control plane and the worker nodes within the control plane. These are the components. Just giving a overview about the cluster. Now let us see what are the different options to set up a Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so here first option was cube sorry Minikube. So especially for learning and testing, let's say you just wanted to understand the Kubernetes and practice the commands and try the deployments locally without any cost or free of cost. You can go with the Minikube. It provides a single mission setup, and it is free, as well as it can runs on your own laptop. And the second option was Kubeadm. It is a what we can say a fully customized and on-premise deployment. Let's say if you wanted to fully control, uh, that means you need to build your cluster yourself on your real servers and understand every layer. So here it provides a multi-node setup and also the complete configuration control on your own only. Okay, in that case you can go with the Kubeadm. And the third option was Managed Kubernetes. So here, especially for the production systems where you need a reliability as well as the scaling, the cloud provider will manages the hard parts, and you focus on your application deployment. That means underlying worker nodes only. So here, it this fully managed by the control plane. Sorry, there is a fully managed control plane, and also the cloud provider will handle the scaling and horizontal auto scaling built-in feature. Okay, so here the key insight out of this particular discussion the setup options was there is no a single best option. So the right choice is completely depends upon your environment, your team, and your what exactly your goal, whether learning or a complete customized one or a production grade like or hybrid one. Now let us see a complete understanding of one by one option. Uh, First one was Minikube. So as I said, it is a complete local setup. Minikube was, and it can run up on your own laptop. Okay. So the first thing was it runs a Kubernetes on a single mission. So spins up a mini cluster right in your laptop, and it is very much perfect for learning and practice purpose. You can try all the Kubernetes commands without needing a real servers, and it is easy to install also. Like a single command to start the Kubernetes cluster. The command was minikube start, and also it supports all core features of Kubernetes like deployment, services, ingress, health, all work locally itself. And the drawback or disadvantage for this was it is not production ready. Why? Because it is only a single node, and high availability is not available, and scaling also is not possible. And whatever the points I just discussed here, it was presented in your diagrammatic representation. You can see here the Minikube. Okay, so this is your laptop where you install your Minikube, and that will set up a one cluster, okay, single node cluster. So in the same cluster, I mean in your same laptop or virtual machine, there is a control plane as well as worker also. Okay, that means the cluster itself in your laptop, so both sits obviously in your same machine or same laptop. So these are the high level commands what we can say to quickly start with the Minikube. First thing was you are creating a cluster, and you are getting the nodes. Obviously it will return your laptop. Why? Because that is the only one associated cluster. Okay, one, I mean only one associated uh, worker node as well as control plane. I mean master and worker both are same. Okay, and then the finally it also provides a dashboard with the help of Minikube dashboard. It will open a dedicated dashboard where you can like monitor your deployment services and health check everything. Okay, and this is all about the Minikube. Now let us go with the second option. The second option was Kubeadm. So it is a complete manual setup. So you need to build yourself. It is a official Kubernetes tool for bootstrapping a cluster on your own machine. So here it works on your virtual machine or bare metal servers also, on premise data centers or any cloud VMs also. You can control on that servers. And also it provides a full control over the configuration that includes the networking, CNI, container network interface, storage, RBAC, role-based access controls, all based as per your decisions. Okay, and also it is excellent for deep learning also. It will help us to understand every step, like init, joint, networking, certificates, everything need to be managed by yourself. And as a drawback also, I mean it comes with a drawback also. The more maintenance need to be there, where the certificates or upgrades or horizontal auto scaling we need to do manually. That is the disadvantage, and all need to be done yourself. Okay, entire managed by yourself. And whatever the just points I have discussed here, the same thing I have presented in a clear, easily understandable manner. Here is the Kubeadm, where it has a multi-node, where we do have a master node as well as worker nodes, and Kubeadm will joins the master and worker. Let's see the commands, by that you will understand. So Kubeadm init, where it will initialize as a master. Okay, so this master node is initialized with the Kubeadm init. That associated components also it will initialize the API server, etcd, scheduler. And then the second command was Kubeadm join master. That means you are joining the worker node with the master node. Okay, and then you are applying a network configuration, kubectl apply -f CNI, container network interface YAML configuration settings. Okay, basically it is like having a roads connectivity if you have a car. Okay, so without a proper roads, obviously you cannot drive the car, right? So you just need to have your car on one single place. So this particular CNI dot YAML, it will build a networking. Okay, so that's why underlying networking, everything need to be managed by yourself. And this is all about the Kubeadm. It is a complete manual built-in setup. And then the third option was managed Kubernetes. So it is a cloud native, where it will provide a cloud set. It is a cloud setup option. Here it was provided by a cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, GCP. In each and every cloud platform, they named it as a different service. In AWS, it is called as Elastic Kubernetes Service. In Azure, it is called as Azure Kubernetes Service, and Google, it is called as Google Kubernetes Service. And by using one click, you can create a cluster. Okay, and then the cloud provider will manages the control plane, and you don't need to install or configure um, the control plane, sorry, the yeah, control plane or master node. Okay, and patching, everything is taken care by the cloud platform, I mean cloud provider. And the third point here was it is easy to scale. So you can add more worker nodes with a slider or a single click on go or CLI commands. In seconds it will apply. Okay, and it is very much efficient or effective for production ready kit, and highly available, and auto upgrades as well as monitoring, everything is included. And the disadvantage or a drawback for this was obviously it will comes with a huge cost. See, it is like pay per node per hour. but it will obviously save a massive what we can say operations cost. And whatever the points I just discussed here, it is a diagrammatic representation in the right hand side. There is a managed Kubernetes. So these are the cloud providers, and here the control plane, which is managed by the Kubernetes, sorry, the cloud providers, and you no need to touch with I mean, you no need to manage or handle this control plane. You only manage the underlying worker nodes. Okay, so let's say you want to spin up the worker nodes. You need to use a CLI or UI option to spin up. Okay, that's it. Everything is like, especially the scaling, everything will be there. We will be discussing more points. Now let us see kind of a head-to-head comparison with Minikube, Kubeadm, and Managed Kubernetes. So here there are certain criteria or evaluation points where I have compared with Minikube and Kubeadm and Managed Kubernetes. So these are the same sequence we just covered in the previous slides. So first thing was setup difficulty. Obviously, Minikube has very easy setup, and Kubeadm, it is a medium, we can say. Everything need to manage by ourselves, and in managed Kubernetes it is easy, where through the UI or CLI we can easily provide it. And coming to the environment, it runs on your local machine, and that means on your local laptop. And here Kubeadm, it requires a virtual machine or bare metal. You cannot run on your own single laptop. Okay, and why? Because it uses multiple servers for node and master, I mean worker and master. And here managed Kubernetes, it obviously requires a cloud platform. And coming to the scalability, so for scalability point, obviously Minikube won't provide say scalability. Why? Because it is a single node. Both the master and the worker is in the single node. And here in Kubeadm, it is, I can say, manual auto scale. I mean, auto scaling option is not available. Manual scaling is required. And here auto scaling feature is available in the managed Kubernetes. I mean, cloud managed Kubernetes. And then the another criteria was production ready. Obviously, this is sorry. Obviously, this is not a production ready Minikube, and Kubeadm was like production ready based upon the management and efforts. And the managed Kubernetes was obviously production ready. And coming to the cost, obviously here managed Kubernetes is a high or pay as you go model, and Minikube is obviously a free. You can set up on your own. And here obviously server costs, so we need multiple servers, right? So that cost need to be there. And coming to the another final criteria, where it is best for, obviously Minikube is best for learning. And let's say if you wanted to control everything and manage and I mean deep configurations, everything, in that case you can go with the Kubeadm. And especially for production workloads, you can choose the managed Kubernetes. Now let us see a quick high level decision making, when to use what. Okay, so for that I can say, simply ask you a question to yourself, what exactly you are trying to achieve. Especially you can go with Minikube when you just wanted to begin with your Kubernetes and test apps locally and get started within a fraction of minutes, and obviously free of cost. Okay, it is especially suitable for beginners, I can say. And you can go with Kubeadm when let's say there is a built-in, if you wanted to build a multi-node cluster on your own, and a full configuration control, as well as a deep Kubernetes knowledge if you have, and on-premise deployment also required. In that case, especially for intermediate users, I can suggest go with the Kubeadm. Especially for the managed Kubernetes, especially to work the production workloads, you can choose this, and auto scaling on demand is required, or high availability and SLA is required, and faster time to deploy. In that case, you can choose the managed Kubernetes, especially for the production teams. And here is a quick recap what we just covered. One thing the major primary thing we have covered was different options to set up the Kubernetes cluster. First thing was Minikube, Kubeadm, and Managed Kubernetes. For learning, we can go with Minikube. For entire end-to-end control with efforts, we can go with the Kubeadm. And especially for production workloads, we can go with cloud managed Kubernetes. Okay. Here, master especially one tool that exactly matches your goal, and then you can grow from there, or understanding the other things also very much simple. Okay, underlying concept is same. And in the upcoming video we'll be seeing the Kubernetes basic commands, basically kubectl is the container Kubernetes command line interface. Okay, so that includes the get, apply, describe, log, exec. These are some basic commands we'll be seeing about this. And if possible, I will also include the practicals for this. By that, you will get more understanding how exactly to set up, how to use the commands, everything. Okay. And by this, we are almost end of this particular video. And I hope so you got certain insightful points or insightful discussion out of this particular video. And stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for watching the video and all the best for your learning.